In the far reaches of space, among countless stars and planets, a curious alien species called the Valith lived. They were known for their intelligence and advanced technology, but they had never encountered anything quite like Earth before. When one of their deep space probes sent back data about humanity, it sparked both fascination and confusion within their society. Humans seemed so fragile compared to other species, yet they displayed incredible resilience and adaptability. The Valith decided that studying these beings up close was worth the effort. The Valith assembled a small research team led by Dr. Kale, a scientist with years of experience studying lesser-known life forms across the galaxy. His mission was clear: observe humans without interfering in their daily lives. If all went well, the Valith hoped to uncover secrets about human biology and behavior that could benefit their own kind. With this goal in mind, the research vessel descended quietly toward Earth, landing in a dense forest near a quiet American town. The town itself was unremarkable: small buildings, wide open fields, and friendly faces everywhere you looked. It was the perfect place for observation, because no one would suspect outsiders were watching them. Dr. Kale and his crew activated their cloaking devices, ensuring they remained invisible to human eyes. From their hidden ship, they deployed drones equipped with cameras and sensors to gather information. Every movement, every sound, even the faintest scent in the air was recorded and analyzed. At first, the Valith focused on two individuals who seemed particularly interesting. One was Alex Carter, a local mechanic known for fixing anything that came his way. Whether it was an old car engine or a broken lawnmower, Alex approached every problem with patience and creativity. He didn't realize it, but his hands-on work often drew the attention of the Valith. To them, his ability to repair machines using limited resources was remarkable. It hinted at a level of ingenuity they hadn't seen in other species. The second person under observation was Mia Roberts, a high school biology teacher who had recently moved to the town. She spent her days teaching students about cells, ecosystems, and evolution, but she also had a natural curiosity about the world around her. On weekends, she explored the nearby woods, collecting plant samples and sketching wildlife in a notebook. The Valith found her interest in living things intriguing, especially since humans themselves were such complex organisms. As days turned into weeks, the Valith began noticing patterns in human behavior. They saw how people laughed together at dinner tables, argued passionately during town meetings, and comforted each other in times of sorrow. These interactions fascinated Dr. Kale and his team. Humans appeared to be driven not just by survival instincts, but also by emotions like love, anger, and hope. Such traits made them unpredictable, yet oddly admirable. However, what truly puzzled the Valith was the human body itself. Through careful analysis of their collected data, they discovered something astonishing. Human cells weren't static. They adapted rapidly to changes in their environment. A cut on the skin healed quickly, muscles grew stronger with exercise, and even the immune system learned to fight off new diseases. This level of flexibility was unheard of among the Valith, whose bodies were designed for efficiency rather than adaptability. Dr. Kale couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and unease. The more he learned about humans, the more questions arose. Why did they endure pain and hardship without giving up? How could such physically weak creatures survive in harsh conditions? And most importantly, what else might humanity be capable of? Unbeknownst to the Valith, their presence in the forest was starting to leave subtle traces. Birds avoided certain areas where their equipment hummed softly, and animals acted skittish near the edges of the woods. Even Alex and Mia noticed oddities: an unusual glow in the night sky, faint whispers carried by the wind, but dismissed them as tricks of the imagination. Little did anyone know, the stage was set for an encounter that would change everything, for better or worse. The Valith continued their observations, growing more captivated by the day. Alex Carter and Mia Roberts remained at the center of their focus, not because they were extraordinary in any obvious way, but because their lives reflected the essence of humanity itself. Alex's hands worked tirelessly in his garage, fixing engines and welding metal with precision. The Valeth marveled at how he could take something broken and make it whole again, often improvising tools or techniques when parts were unavailable. His patience and determination seemed almost artistic to them, a blend of logic and creativity. Mia, on the other hand, fascinated them in a different way. Her classroom buzzed with energy as she explained the intricacies of biology to her students. She drew diagrams of cells on the whiteboard, pointing out mitochondria and nuclei with enthusiasm. Outside of school, she wandered through the woods, jotting notes about plants and insects in her worn leather notebook. To the Valeth, her curiosity was infectious. They watched as she knelt by a stream one afternoon, carefully examining a dragonfly perched on a rock. Her awe for even the smallest creatures mirrored their own growing fascination with humanity. But it wasn't just Alex and Mia's individual traits that intrigued the aliens. It was how they interacted with others. The Valeth noticed how Alex greeted customers at his shop with a warm smile, listening intently to their problems before offering solutions. He didn't rush them or dismiss their concerns. Instead, he treated each person as if their issue mattered deeply. Similarly, Mia spent hours after class helping struggling students understand difficult concepts. Her kindness created bonds that went beyond teacher and pupil, leaving a lasting impact on those around her. Through these interactions, the Valeth began to piece together what made humans unique. Unlike their own society, which valued efficiency above all else, humans thrived on connection. Emotions played a central role in everything they did. Joy, frustration, sadness, and love guided their decisions in ways the Valeth couldn't fully comprehend. Yet, this emotional depth also puzzled them. Why would beings so fragile allow themselves to feel pain so deeply? And why did they keep trying, even when faced with failure? One evening, while observing Mia in her home, the Valeth witnessed something that left them unsettled. She sat alone at her kitchen table, staring at an old photograph. Her expression shifted between happiness and sorrow, and tears welled up in her eyes. The Valeth scanned her vitals, expecting signs of distress, but instead found a strange calmness beneath the surface. It was as if her emotions strengthened her resolve rather than weakened it. This paradox confused Dr. Kale and his team. How could such vulnerability coexist with resilience? Their confusion deepened when they turned their attention back to Alex. That same night, he stayed late at his garage, working on a particularly stubborn engine. Frustration lined his face as he struggled to identify the problem. Instead of giving up, he took a step back, wiped his hands, and tried a new approach. Within minutes, the engine roared to life. The Valeth recorded every moment, analyzing the chemicals in his brain and the tension in his muscles. What they saw was astonishing. His body responded to stress by releasing bursts of energy, sharpening his focus and endurance. As the days passed, the Valeth started noticing another peculiar trait in humans: their ability to endure suffering without losing hope. Whether it was Alex dealing with financial struggles or Mia comforting a student going through family issues, both demonstrated unwavering perseverance. This quality baffled the Valeth, whose species avoided discomfort at all costs. They began to wonder if humanity's strength lay not in their physical abilities, but in their minds and hearts. However, their fascination soon gave way to unease. While reviewing their data, the Valeth discovered something alarming. Human DNA contained hidden potential far beyond what they had initially thought. Cells adapted not only to external changes, but also to internal stresses, repairing themselves in ways that defied logic. Even more startling was the presence of dormant neural pathways in some individuals, suggesting untapped abilities waiting to be awakened. Dr. Kale called an emergency meeting with his team. "This is unlike anything we've encountered," he said, his voice tinged with concern. "Humans are not just resilient. They're evolving in real time. We need to understand what triggers this adaptation." Lyra, his second in command, nodded but added, "We must proceed carefully. Interfering too much could have consequences we can't predict." Despite their caution, the Valith couldn't shake the feeling that they were standing on the edge of something monumental. The Valith's fascination with humanity began to spiral into something deeper: obsession. What started as a mission of curiosity had turned into an urgent need to understand the full scope of human potential. The more they studied Alex Carter and Mia Roberts, the more questions arose. Their initial observations revealed extraordinary adaptability in human cells, but now their findings pointed to something even stranger: hidden abilities lurking beneath the surface. Dr. Kale and his team decided to take their research further. Observing from afar was no longer enough. They needed direct samples. Under cover of darkness, the Valith deployed tiny drones equipped with advanced tools to extract microscopic amounts of tissue from unsuspecting townsfolk. These drones were nearly invisible, moving silently through the air like whispers on the wind. No one noticed when a drone hovered near Alex as he worked late in his garage, or when another brushed past Mia during her morning walk in the woods. Back on their ship, the scientists analyzed the samples with growing excitement. Human cells behaved unlike anything they had ever seen. When exposed to stress or injury, the cells didn't just repair themselves. They adapted, becoming stronger and more efficient. It was as if the human body carried within it a blueprint for survival, constantly rewriting its own code to meet new challenges. This discovery left the Valith both amazed and uneasy. Such rapid adaptation suggested that humans might be capable of evolving at speeds far beyond what their own species could achieve. But there was more. While examining Alex's neural activity, the Valith stumbled upon something even more startling. Buried deep within his brain were dormant pathways that hinted at latent psychic abilities. These pathways weren't active yet, but the data suggested they could awaken under certain conditions. Dr. Kale couldn't believe what he was seeing. Could humans possess powers beyond physical resilience? If so, what would happen if those abilities were triggered? As the days passed, the Valith grew increasingly restless. Their experiments uncovered more anomalies, each one raising new questions. For instance, they found traces of electromagnetic energy around some individuals, including Mia. At first, they thought it might be interference from nearby electronics, but further tests confirmed it was coming from the humans themselves. This subtle energy seemed tied to moments of intense emotion: joy, fear, anger, all of which appeared to amplify the phenomenon. Meanwhile, life in the small town continued as usual. Alex and Mia remained oblivious to the alien presence watching them. However, strange occurrences began to catch their attention. One night, while working late in his garage, Alex heard faint humming sounds coming from outside. He stepped out to investigate, but found nothing unusual. Similarly, Mia noticed glowing lights flickering among the trees during her walks in the forest. She dismissed them as fireflies at first, but the lights moved too deliberately to belong to insects. Their unease deepened when other townsfolk reported similar incidents. A farmer claimed to have seen shadowy figures darting between rows of crops. A teenager swore she heard voices whispering her name while walking home from school. Rumors spread quickly, and soon the entire town buzzed with speculation about the mysterious happenings. Some blamed local wildlife. Others joked about ghosts. No one suspected the truth, that they were being studied by beings from another world. The Valith, however, were not immune to the effects of their experiments. Prolonged exposure to human DNA and energy began causing glitches in their systems. Sensors malfunctioned, readings became inconsistent, and some crew members reported vivid dreams filled with human faces and emotions. Lyra voiced her concerns to Dr. Kale. "We're pushing too far," she warned. "Our technology wasn't designed to handle this level of complexity. Something unexpected could happen." Dr. Kale hesitated. He knew Lyra was right, but the allure of discovery was too strong to ignore. Humanity held secrets that could redefine everything the Valith thought they knew about life. Still, doubt crept into his mind. What if their interference triggered something uncontrollable? What if the dormant abilities they detected in humans awakened prematurely? Despite these fears, the Valith pressed on. They couldn't turn back now. not when answers lay just within reach. But as they delved deeper into their studies, they failed to notice the subtle changes occurring in the town below. The people of the quiet American community were starting to sense that something was wrong, and though they didn't yet understand the source of their unease, one thing was certain. The balance between observer and observed was beginning to shift. The strange occurrences in the small town continued to grow more frequent, and Alex Carter couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him. The faint humming sounds he had heard outside his garage now seemed louder, almost like a low vibration in the air. At first, he thought it might be his imagination or some malfunctioning equipment, but when tools began moving slightly on their own in his workshop, he knew something was wrong. He mentioned it to Mia Roberts during one of their casual conversations at the local diner. Mia nodded thoughtfully as she stirred her coffee. "I've noticed weird things too," she admitted. "There are these glowing lights in the woods when I go for my walks. They don't act like normal fireflies. They move in patterns, almost like they're intelligent." She hesitated, unsure if she sounded crazy. But Alex didn't laugh or dismiss her concerns. Instead, his expression grew serious. "Do you think someone's messing with us?" Alex asked. "Or maybe it's animals. Something out there doesn't feel natural." Mia shook her head. "I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's human. Whatever it is, it's not from around here." Their conversation stayed with both of them long after they parted ways. That night, Alex decided to investigate. Armed with a flashlight and an old handheld radio he used for tuning into distant stations, he ventured into the forest near his home. The air felt heavier than usual, and the usual nighttime sounds of crickets and owls were eerily absent. As he walked deeper into the woods, the hum grew louder, vibrating through his chest. His heart raced, but he pressed on, determined to find answers. Meanwhile, miles above the forest canopy, the Veilith monitored Alex's every move. They had detected his approach and debated whether to retreat further or observe him directly. Dr. Kale argued for caution. "If he gets too close, we risk exposure," he warned. But Lyra disagreed. "He already suspects something. If we pull back now, it might make him even more suspicious." Before they could reach a decision, Alex stumbled upon something extraordinary. Hidden beneath a cluster of trees was a faint shimmer, a distortion in the air that made the leaves behind it appear blurry, like heat waves rising off asphalt. He reached out cautiously, his fingers brushing against what felt like cool glass. Suddenly, static erupted from his radio, filling the silence with sharp bursts of noise. Through the chaos, Alex heard fragmented voices, alien tones layered over distorted words. Back on their ship, the Veilith scrambled to contain the situation. Their cloaking device had been disrupted by the radio signal, briefly revealing the outline of their vessel. Panicked, they attempted to recalibrate the system, but the damage was done. Alex stared wide-eyed at the massive shape materializing before him. It wasn't a trick of the light. It was real. Towering and translucent, the ship pulsed with an otherworldly glow. Alex froze, his mind struggling to process what he was seeing. Before he could react, another figure emerged from the shadows. Mia. She had followed him into the woods after noticing the strange lights converging in the same direction. When she saw the ship, her breath caught in her throat. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Mia broke the silence. "What is that?" she whispered, her voice trembling. "I don't know," Alex replied, gripping the flashlight tightly. "But I think we just found our answer." Inside the ship, the Veilith faced a dilemma. Their cover was blown, and retreating would only escalate the situation. Reluctantly, Dr. Kale ordered the team to reveal themselves. The shimmering hull of the ship dissolved, and several Veilith stepped forward, their forms tall and ethereal. Their bodies glowed faintly, and their elongated limbs moved with fluid grace. To Alex and Mia, they looked both beautiful and terrifying. For a long moment, no one moved. The Veilith studied the two humans intently, while Alex and Mia stood frozen, trying to comprehend the beings before them. Finally, Dr. Kale spoke, not in words, but through a telepathic connection that resonated in their minds. "We mean no harm." The message came, calm but firm. "We are explorers, scientists. We have been observing your species to learn about your resilience and adaptability." Alex blinked, startled by the voice in his head. "You've been spying on us," he demanded, anger replacing fear. "Why?" The Vailith hesitated, unsure how much to reveal. Lyra stepped forward, her presence gentle compared to Dr. Kale's intensity. "Your kind fascinates us," she explained. "You possess qualities we do not understand, qualities that may hold the key to survival in an uncertain universe." Mia frowned, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. "What qualities? What have you learned?" Back on their ship, the Vailith were in disarray. The unexpected confrontation with Alex and Mia had thrown their carefully planned mission into chaos. Dr. Kale paced the control room, his translucent form shimmering with agitation. "This was not supposed to happen," he muttered, his voice echoing softly through the chamber. "We were to remain unseen, to observe without interference. Now everything is at risk." Lyra watched him closely, her calm demeanor a stark contrast to his frustration. "Perhaps this is an opportunity," she suggested. "They know we exist now. Instead of retreating, we could try to build trust." Humanity's reactions tonight showed courage and curiosity, traits we've admired from the start. Dr. Kale stopped pacing and turned to face her. "And what if they retaliate? Humans are unpredictable. They might see us as a threat and act accordingly." "They already see us as a threat," Lyra countered. "But they stayed to talk instead of running or attacking. That speaks volumes about their willingness to understand. If we pull back now, we risk making them even more hostile." The rest of the team listened intently, divided between fear and hope. Some agreed with Dr. Kale, arguing that humanity's latent abilities made them too dangerous to engage directly. Others sided with Lyra, believing that open communication was the only way forward. The debate grew heated, each side presenting arguments rooted in logic and caution. Meanwhile, subtle glitches continued to plague their systems. Erratic readings, flickering lights, and strange distortions in their holographic displays. It was as if prolonged exposure to human energy had begun affecting their technology. While the Vailith argued, Alex and Mia sat together in Alex's garage, trying to make sense of what they had witnessed. The memory of the towering, glowing beings lingered in their minds, as vivid as it was surreal. Neither of them had slept since returning from the forest, their thoughts racing with questions and possibilities. "They said they've been studying us," Maya said, breaking the silence. "Do you think they're telling the truth?" Alex leaned against his workbench, rubbing his temples. "I don't know. But if they were lying, why reveal themselves at all? They could have just kept hiding." Mia nodded slowly. "Maybe they underestimated us. Or maybe," she hesitated, choosing her words carefully, "maybe they're scared of us." That idea gave Alex pause. Scared of us? We're the ones who should be scared. Look at their tech. It's way beyond anything we've got. They could probably wipe us out if they wanted to. "Exactly," Maya replied. "But they didn't. They talked to us instead. Whatever they're afraid of, it must have something to do with what they've discovered about us." Her words hung in the air, heavy with implication. Both of them knew there was more to humanity than met the eye. Over the years, stories of unexplained phenomena, strange lights in the sky, telepathic experiences, even reports of people moving objects with their minds, had circulated quietly in books and online forums. Could those stories be connected to what the Vailith had found? As dawn approached, Alex made a decision. "We need to figure out what they want," he said firmly. "If they're here to study us, fine. But we deserve answers. And if they're planning something worse, we can't just sit around waiting for it." Mia agreed, though unease still lingered in her expression. "How do we even begin?" "They're aliens, Alex. We don't speak their language, and they seem centuries ahead of us. We'll find a way, Alex replied. We always do. Unbeknownst to them, the Valith were grappling with similar concerns. After hours of debate, Dr. Kale reluctantly conceded to Lyra's suggestion. Very well, he said. We will attempt to communicate further, but we must proceed cautiously. No more experiments, not until we fully understand the consequences. With that, the Valith prepared to reach out again. Using their advanced technology, they sent a message directly to Alex and Mia's minds while they slept. The transmission was gentle, designed to avoid startling them. It contained images and emotions rather than words, a montage of stars, planets, and life forms blending together in harmony. At its core was a single message. Asterisk, we seek understanding, asterisk. When Alex and Mia woke the next morning, they felt different. A faint warmth lingered in their chests, accompanied by a vague sense of connection, as if they had briefly touched something vast and ancient. Though neither could explain it, they knew one thing for certain. The Valith were reaching out, offering a fragile olive branch. The days that followed were tense but transformative for both Alex and Mia, as well as the Valith. The message sent during their sleep had left a lasting impression, subtle yet profound. It wasn't just words or images. It was a feeling, a sense of purpose that lingered in their minds. For Alex, it fueled his determination to uncover the truth. For Mia, it sparked a mix of awe and caution. They knew they couldn't ignore what had happened, but neither could they trust blindly. Determined to take action, Alex and Mia decided to investigate further. Using old equipment from Alex's garage and some ideas Mia had picked up in her biology classes, they began building rudimentary devices designed to interact with the Valith's technology. Alex scavenged parts from broken radios and electronics, while Mia used her knowledge of energy patterns to guide the design. Together, they created tools capable of detecting and disrupting the aliens' cloaking systems. Though crude compared to the Valith's advanced tech, these gadgets gave them a sense of control over the situation. Meanwhile, aboard their ship hidden deep in the forest, the Valith monitored the humans' activities closely. They noticed the pair working late into the night, piecing together strange contraptions. At first, the aliens dismissed the effort as futile. Surely such primitive beings couldn't pose a real threat. But as the devices began emitting faint electromagnetic pulses, the Valith grew uneasy. These signals interfered with their own systems, causing brief disruptions in their sensors and communication networks. Dr. Kale watched the footage of Alex and Mia with growing concern. They're adapting faster than we anticipated, he admitted to Lyra. Their ingenuity is unsettling. Lyra nodded thoughtfully. It's exactly what we've been studying, their ability to innovate under pressure. Perhaps this is part of their strength. Instead of fearing it, we should embrace it. But how? Dr. Kale asked. If they continue experimenting, they might expose us to the rest of their species. Can we afford that risk? We can't stop them without escalating the situation, Lyra replied. Our best option is to engage them directly again, show them we mean no harm, and offer something in return. Reluctantly, Dr. Kale agreed. He instructed his team to prepare another attempt at communication, this time more direct. Using their telepathic abilities, they reached out to Alex and Mia once more. This time, the message came not in fragmented images, but in clear thoughts. Asterisk, we wish to speak. Meet us where the trees meet the sky, asterisk. Alex woke with a start, the words echoing in his mind. Beside him, Mia stirred, her eyes fluttering open. Did you hear that? She whispered. I think so, Alex replied, sitting up. They want to meet us. Mia hesitated, uncertainty clouding her expression. Do we go? What if it's a trap? We don't have much choice, Alex said firmly. If we stay here, we're just guessing what they want. If we go, maybe we'll get answers. After a moment of silence, Mia nodded. All right. But we bring the devices, just in case. That evening, armed with their makeshift tools and a shared resolve. Alex and Mia ventured back into the forest. The air was cool and still, the only sound the crunch of leaves beneath their feet. As they approached the designated meeting spot, a clearing surrounded by towering trees, they felt a strange pull, as though the atmosphere itself was charged with energy. The Veilith awaited them, their forms shimmering faintly in the moonlight. This time, they made no attempt to hide. Dr. Kale stepped forward, his elongated limbs moving gracefully. Through their telepathic link, he spoke. We are here to learn, not to harm. Your kind possesses qualities we do not fully understand. Help us, and we will share knowledge in return. Alex glanced at Mia, who looked equally stunned. What kind of knowledge? He asked aloud. In response, the Veilith projected images into their minds. Advanced medical techniques, sustainable energy solutions, and glimpses of distant worlds teeming with life. It was overwhelming, yet undeniably tempting. Humanity stood to gain greatly from such an exchange, but doubts lingered. How do we know we can trust you? Maya asked, her voice steady despite her nerves. Lyra stepped forward, her presence calming. Trust must be earned. We ask for the same from you. For a long moment, no one moved. Then Alex lowered his device, signaling a willingness to listen. Maya followed suit, though her grip on the gadget remained firm. Both sides understood that this was only the beginning, a fragile step toward understanding between two vastly different species. As the night wore on, tentative conversations unfolded, bridging the gap between human curiosity and alien caution. The meeting in the forest marked a turning point for both Alex, Mia, and the Veilith. For the first time, they spoke openly, not just through fragmented thoughts or telepathic messages, but with genuine effort to understand each other. The Veilith explained their mission in greater detail, emphasizing their fascination with humanity's adaptability and resilience. They shared glimpses of their own world, a distant planet where life thrived in harmony, but lacked the unpredictability that made humans so unique. Alex listened intently, his initial anger giving way to curiosity. So you're saying you came here to study us because we're different? He asked, his tone cautious but less hostile than before. Dr. Kale nodded, his translucent form shimmering faintly in the moonlight. Different is not the word we would use. He replied telepathically. Your species possesses qualities we cannot replicate, qualities that may hold answers to challenges we face. Mia stepped forward, her scientific mind racing with questions. You mentioned sharing knowledge earlier. What exactly are you offering? Lyra gestured toward one of the glowing devices strapped to her side. With a flick of her fingers, she activated a holographic projection that hovered between them. It displayed intricate diagrams of advanced medical tools, clean energy systems, and even methods for repairing damaged ecosystems. The images were mesmerizing, showing possibilities far beyond anything humanity had achieved. This could change everything, Mia murmured, her voice tinged with awe. But why share it with us now? Why not keep it for yourselves? Because survival depends on cooperation, Lyra responded. We have much to gain from understanding your kind, and perhaps you have much to gain from understanding ours. While the prospect of such knowledge excited Alex and Mia, they remained wary. Trust wasn't something easily given, especially when dealing with beings who had secretly studied them without permission. Alex crossed his arms, his expression thoughtful. If you really want to work together, prove it. Show us you're serious. Dr. Kale exchanged a glance with Lyra before nodding. Very well. We will demonstrate our intentions by helping your town through another holographic display. He showed plans to repair aging infrastructure, improve crop yields, and provide sustainable energy solutions, all using technology adapted to human needs. Mia's eyes widened as she processed the implications. This could transform our community, she said softly. But what do you expect in return? Asterisk your continued cooperation. Asterisk Dr. Kale replied. Asterisk allow us to study your physiology and behavior further. Not as subjects, but as partners. Asterisk. Alex hesitated, glancing at Mia. He trusted her judgment, but this decision felt monumental. Finally, he spoke. All right, but if anyone gets hurt, or if you break your promises, we'll find a way to stop you. The Vailith accepted the terms, recognizing the weight of Alex's warning. Though their technology was superior, they understood that humanity's strength lay not in weapons or machines, but in its unity and determination. Over the next few days, the Vailith began implementing their promised improvements. Using small drones equipped with advanced tools, they repaired crumbling roads, purified contaminated water sources, and introduced crops resistant to disease and drought. The townspeople noticed the changes immediately, though no one knew who or what was responsible. Rumors spread about mysterious lights in the sky and strange figures seen near construction sites, but no one dared investigate too closely. Alex and Mia acted as intermediaries, ensuring the Vailith kept their word while shielding them from unnecessary attention. Their roles became increasingly important as tensions simmered beneath the surface. Some townsfolk grew suspicious of the sudden improvements, questioning whether outsiders were interfering. Others simply accepted the changes as miracles, grateful for the newfound prosperity. One evening, as Alex and Mia walked through the revitalized town square, they paused to watch children playing under newly installed solar-powered streetlights. "Do you think we did the right thing?" Maya asked quietly. Alex sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I don't know. But I do know this. We've got a chance to make things better. For everyone." As the sun set over the horizon, casting warm hues across the landscape, both humans and aliens reflected on the fragile bond they had forged. It was an uneasy alliance, built on equal parts hope and caution. Yet amidst the uncertainty, one truth stood clear. Together, they had taken the first step toward a future neither could have imagined alone. As the days turned into weeks, the partnership between Alex, Mia, and the Vailith deepened. The aliens continued to share their knowledge, introducing small yet impactful changes to the town. Crops grew faster and healthier, water supplies became cleaner, and even the air seemed fresher thanks to subtle environmental adjustments. At first, the townspeople were hesitant, whispering about the strange occurrences and wondering if something supernatural was at play. But as life improved, skepticism gave way to gratitude. For Alex and Mia, however, the situation remained complicated. They spent hours each day communicating with the Vailith, learning more about their culture and technology, while explaining human values and emotions in return. It wasn't always easy. Concepts like love, fear, or humor often puzzled the aliens, who struggled to grasp the depth of human feelings. Yet these exchanges created moments of connection that neither side had anticipated. One evening, during a meeting in the forest clearing, Dr. Kale brought up a topic that made both Alex and Mia uneasy. "We have observed something within your species," he began, his telepathic voice calm but serious. Certain individuals possess latent abilities beyond physical resilience. These traits may hold untapped potential. Mia frowned, leaning forward slightly. "What kind of abilities?" Dr. Kale hesitated before responding. Neural pathways in some humans suggest dormant psychic capabilities. We believe they could be awakened under specific conditions. Alex stiffened, his mind flashing back to the strange energy he felt near the ship. "Are you saying we're different? Like, not normal?" Not abnormal. Lyra interjected gently. Unique. Your adaptability extends beyond the body. It reaches into the mind. This is why we find your species so fascinating. The implications weighed heavily on Alex and Mia. If what the Vailith said was true, it raised questions about humanity's future, and whether such powers would bring progress or chaos. Sensing their unease, Lyra added, "We do not seek to exploit these abilities. Our goal is understanding, not control asterisk. Despite her reassurance, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking a dangerous line. If you're right, then waking up those abilities could change everything. For us, and for everyone else. Mia nodded slowly, her thoughts racing. Maybe that's why they've been studying us all along, she said quietly, to figure out how far we can go. The conversation shifted when Alex suddenly doubled over, clutching his head. A sharp pain shot through his temples, followed by a surge of energy coursing through his body. Images flooded his mind, flashes of distant stars, unfamiliar landscapes, and faces he didn't recognize. For a brief moment, he felt connected to something vast and ancient, as though he had tapped into the universe itself. Mia rushed to his side, panic rising in her chest. Alex, what's happening? The Valeth watched in stunned silence as Alex steadied himself, breathing heavily. When he finally looked up, his eyes glowed faintly, an otherworldly light lingering in their depths. It has begun, Dr. Kale said softly, awe evident in his tone. What's begun? Mia demanded, her voice trembling. What did you do to him? Nothing. Lyra replied quickly. This awakening stems from within him. We merely triggered what was already there. Alex blinked, the glow fading as quickly as it had appeared. He felt different. Not stronger, exactly, but sharper, as though his senses had expanded. I think I'm okay, he said, though uncertainty lingered in his voice. Maya turned to the Valeth, her expression hardening. You need to tell us everything. Now, recognizing the gravity of the moment, Dr. Kale complied. He explained how certain humans carried genetic markers linked to heightened awareness and intuition, traits that might one day evolve into psychic powers. While most remained dormant, exposure to external stimuli could awaken them prematurely. Alex's encounter with their technology had likely acted as a catalyst. As the night wore on, Alex and Mia grappled with the revelation. Humanity's potential stretched far beyond what anyone had imagined, but it came with risks. Would others react with fear or aggression if they discovered such abilities existed? And what responsibilities came with wielding powers humanity wasn't ready for? By the time they left the clearing, dawn was breaking, painting the sky in soft hues of orange and pink. Both Alex and Mia knew their lives, and the lives of everyone around them, would never be the same. Together, they walked back toward the town, carrying the weight of newfound knowledge and the hope that humanity's greatest strength lay not in its differences but in its unity.